Hey guys, Jedi Marine here. We're gonna fly this plane if I remember the controls. Um, we have plenty of room for me to figure this out. So it's not that. Oh yeah, it's these. Right? There we go. It's not that. F gets out. Here we go. G is brings it up. Okay. So we're gonna fly. We're gonna have a good time today. We're just gonna cruise above the city of whatever the city is, Los Santos. Yeah, I think so. It's a gorgeous day out. We'll do a little whirly whirl. Ooh. That shit makes me dizzy. I couldn't be a pilot. But yeah, so today, for today's story time, I want to talk about the time when I almost died from, the AIDS, the sickness. Not really AIDS, guys. I don't have AIDS, okay? But so it started, I was just got out of the Marine Corps. I'd been out of the Marine Corps for just like 4 months, 5 months. Maybe even less. I'd have to ask my wife, but we were just dating at the time. We were living in an apartment together, and I got sick. Which happens. It's nothing too crazy. But, I got really sick to the point where I couldn't fucking stand up. I was only 22. I couldn't stand up. And, I was throwing up, and I was coughing. My chest felt really heavy, and I was so weak. I literally couldn't stand up. She had to help me. She had to help me go to fucking get up to go pee. And, it got so bad that I've never even really told anybody this. So you guys are lucky. So don't tell anyone, all right? But I got so bad, I couldn't fucking control my numero dos urges. And so, I went up to go pee, right? And I went peed, I was fine. And then I went to go get back in bed because I was so sick. My wife was excellent. She took great care of me. I was so sick that right when I crawled back into bed, we had nice white sheets. Right as I crawled back in, I fucking just shit everywhere. And I had boxers on. Ooh, can't fly over that. I had boxers on, but I couldn't fly. Alright, couldn't fly. I could control it, and I shit everywhere. It was so bad. It was so bad, and I felt so terrible because I couldn't move to get up to deal with it. And so my wife had to do that. She's the fucking real MVP. She really is. She fucking dealt with literally my shit. But she got me cleaned up, took me, into the shower and stuff. And so that was good. But so at that point, I think we realized that I was a little sick and I needed to go to the doc. And not having health insurance and not wanting to rack up $1,000 bill, I went to the VA in Portland, Oregon, which is really not, it's only that VA is only about 20 minutes for me, depending on traffic. And so we went over there. We sat in the waiting room for an hour. And we got in this doc, some lady, she looked at me and took my temperature. He's like, yeah, I don't know, he's got a little something, but it's not too bad, I guess. And she gave me an IV because I was a little dehydrated, from the fucking shitting myself. And then she gave me some nausea medication and told me to go. Told me I was good. Give it a few days, I'll be fine. And my wife was furious. She was insanely mad. No, he is not okay. He can't walk. It's this dude's a 22-year-old Marine. He should be able to fucking get up and walk around, even if he's, got the flu or whatever. And Doc, she, didn't care. I don't know. It was weird. So we went home, because there really was nothing else we could do. And overnight, it got way worse. I woke up with, if you know what thrush is, it's fucking disgusting. Thrush, I don't really know what it is, some sort of bacteria thing. But it happens when your immune system is shutting down. In my situation, it's because my immune system was literally giving up and saying, fuck this. And it basically coated my tongue in this fucking white fuzz. It was this fucking white mold. It was disgusting in my mouth, in my tongue, all over my tongue. And Someone was like, yeah, nope. And I got worse. My temperature went up. I continued to throw up. I got even weaker, if that was possible. And my wife took me to the hospital. She's like, fuck it. We're gonna rack up the bill. I don't care. Let's go. So we went in. Right when we got in, the nurse or the lady behind like the reception center, she looked at me and she's like, yeah, yep, we're admitting you right away. And she went and got the doc straight up. Like, that doc fucking saw me immediately because the nurse came out a little bit before, and she's like, yep. And then she went and got the doc, and they got me in immediately. They put me in a room. The nurse immediately got me on an IV. Like, the second I laid down, and she was sticking the needle in me. And I couldn't talk. Like, I was so out of it. I couldn't talk. And my wife was explaining what had happened to me, kind of what was going on. Oop, military base. Can't fly over that. And so then the doc came in. He checked me out. They took me down to get a chest x-ray. And they came to the conclusion that I had pneumonia and some sort of weird version of the flu at the same time. And they both hit me super, super hard. And the doc, they gave me like in total, like he immediately got me on medication. Because they gave me one IV, and then the second and third one they were pumping me full of medication. And 3 is like the max amount of IVs that they're really allowed to give anybody, because you don't want to dilute their blood too much. But I was that dehydrated, I had to take 3 fucking bags, and they started pumping me full of fucking antibiotics, because the doc told me, he's like, yeah, with the thrush, he's like, that was a sign that our nurse saw that clued her in. And he's like, she acted perfectly. He's like, because he's like, if you would have come in, he's like, if you would have waited like another day or two, like 2 at most, like if you would have waited that long, he's like, you probably would have died. He's like, and I'm not even lying, like I'm not joking, like to try to scare you or, anything. He's like, you would have died. He's like, your immune system was shutting down, and that's what the thrush was an indication of. Because healthy people just don't get it. It's just one of those things, I guess. And I don't really know what causes it specifically, but and look it up. It's disgusting. And he's like, yeah. He's like, that. He's like, you would have died. I'm like, at 22, out of my immune system was so shot. And he's like, yeah. He's like, your immune system is kind of intended to handle like one thing at a time. Like, it's really not designed to handle the flu and pneumonia. And both of those are really powerful sicknesses. Like, you could probably handle, like, pneumonia and a cold, maybe. But the flu and pneumonia at the same time is just fucking so rough. And so he's like, yeah. He's like, and then adding thrush on top of that, he's like, your body was fucked. He's like, but, he's like, you should be fine. He's like, we got the antibiotics going. Oh, God. Boom, nailed it. He's like, we got the antibiotics going. Oh, this is the end, boys. Fuck, I'm a pro pilot. I'm pro shit. We got the antibiotics going. He's like, so you should be okay in a few days. And he gave my wife specific instructions on things to look for, So that was good. But, yeah, it was just insane. And we told him what the VA doc said, that I was fine. We told him I didn't have thrush at the time, but my temperature was like 105, 106. I couldn't stand. I was throwing up. I hadn't eaten in several days. And he's like, yeah. He's like, that's fucking, oh, shit. Oh, God. Okay, I want to try to go through this. He's like, that's fucking horrible. He's like, not to talk a lot of shit. He's like, but I know people have issues with the VA. He's like, and frankly, it's not surprising. He's like, but I'm glad that you guys decided to come in here. He's like, because you would have died. He's like, I have no doubt about it. If you just tried to tough it out, do the Marine thing, oh, I'm fine, don't worry about me. He's like, yeah, you would have died. He's like, I have no doubt in my mind that you would have died. Let's go from this end. And we have to pull up, like it's cool. And so that was a little scary to me. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, obviously I knew I was sick. Like, that didn't surprise me, but the level of sickness, I guess, really did. We're going through the tatas. We're going to not... Oh, I'm committed. Oh. I'm getting my flying up there. You see that, boys? Yeah. But yeah, so that's a little story time for you of how I almost died. It fucking sucked. I don't recommend it to anybody. Because I was the sickest I've ever been, probably. Like, I had pneumonia. I think I've told you guys before. I had pneumonia when we were in Okinawa. Or when we were in mainland Japan, rather. Oh, no. We got halfway. Halfway's good. But yeah, it was kind of, it definitely kind of shakes you a little bit, knowing that you were that close to dying. And I really was. And that doc fucking saved me by getting me in so quick and pumping me full of that medicine, because holy shit. So, long story short, I suppose, if you want to take a moral from it, if you're fucking getting sick and you think you're getting sick, then and it's really bad like that, you need to get your ass to the hospital. Don't fucking tough that shit out, because you will die horribly. Because it was not fun. I can only imagine. It would have sucked. So yeah, alright guys, as always, I appreciate you watching. You guys are the best. And hit me up on Facebook if you have any questions or comments or anything else. And I'll see you later. Peace.